And moving on, we'll move on to something else just now. When you look at all of this and you see what's in front of you, ACA, ABC, etc., why do you think people are coming after you when it comes to, running for the Cairns election? Why do you think this stuff's coming out now?
Look, I think it happens to any political candidate. We saw, especially with the Nazi stuff, we saw what happened to the New South Wales Premier last year. I mean, this is stuff that people take seriously. This is especially when you want to be in the public eye. I'm in the public eye because I want to help people. That's why I'm running. It was actually a former MP that took me under their wing and suggested that I run for council to get involved and make some changes here locally. And I value that. And they saw my potential and saw that I had changed. But look, unfortunately, this stuff follows you. But the only choice I have is to be on the front foot and admit it and own it. And that's all I can do. And I think that a lot of people, they resonate with that. They think, okay, this guy did the wrong thing, but he's not running away from it. He says, hey, this is what I did. I've been to prison. I actually, if elected, would be the first formally incarcerated politician in Australia in any level of government. So it's something that, there's still a lot of people out there that will always think I'm a criminal and I'll be a criminal always. But, I like to provide hope for others and even myself that there's, a better world and a better opportunity there. I didn't have a lot, had a lot going on for me as a child and, a lot of stuff that was really hard to deal with. I was sexually abused and that sort of thing at a young age and, turned to drugs and alcohol and crime was a result of that as well. So, I had a very turbulent upbringing and I'm very grateful for who I've become and where I'm at now in my life. And I've just got to accept it, mate. There's nothing I can do. I've just got to say, hey, all right, yep, I did that. Sorry. I can't change it. I can't go back, but I tell you what I can do. I can dedicate the rest of my life trying to make it better for others, whether that's through crime prevention and preventing others being victims of crime, or whether that's, taking young people and getting them off the streets and out of people's houses at night and getting them on the straight and narrow.
And you also do run some charities as well in the Cairns area. What do they work around and what do you aim to do with them, Shane?
Look, I've got two charities. One is the Change the World Foundation, which I established really as a way to start applying for funding and grants to get some of those programs off the ground for our youth. My big ticket item really is a 24-hour youth centre. We have nothing like that in Cairns. We have nothing past 11. Crime peaks between 12 and 2. Yes.
I mean, in Perth,
so I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, but in Perth, mate, our youth centres close at 6. How embarrassing!
Wow. How's your youth crime over there?
Well, some would say it's quite high, although the experts last week told me that's rubbish. But sorry, keep going. You're pushing for a 24-hour youth centre, I hear.
Yeah, look, so that's the big thing, and again, that's why I'm running for council. Rob Pine, former MP, reached out to speak with me when he heard that I was championing that, and then he said, "Hey, have you thought about council?" And look, I just had a laugh. I'm heavily tattooed. I'm not your typical election candidate. But the other charity I run is Domestic Violence Anonymous, which is a men's support group for male victims and perpetrators of domestic violence. We run online Zoom sessions now, which was as a result of COVID, but it's convenient. It allows us to reach men right across Australia. So doing my bit to reduce domestic and family violence around Australia as well, and really just learning from my experiences and giving back. Yeah.
So tell me, because I'm interested in when this flip will happen, because obviously you've been in and out of jail, you've done stuff, and you've been forefront with that. When did this change happen? Obviously, we had the ABC coverage in November, and we had the ACA coverage 8 months ago. When did the change actually happen?
Look, I've got to say that it's a series of steps. I get asked quite a bit how to change your life. There's a lot of people looking for, a light bulb moment or a quick fix. But really it's a series of steps. I was last released from prison in 2018. I was suicidal. I was homeless. I had a lot of mental health issues. Obviously, I was still dealing with the trauma from prison, being sexually assaulted with a prison knife. And it was a very difficult time for me, but I had a really good psychologist, someone who believed in me. Really, he encouraged me to start studying. I enrolled in a double law and psychology degree. I've just finished law, actually. I'll graduate in April. Still got a couple of psych subjects to go. But really, that was the first step. It was, it was taking each day at a time, each subject at a time. Then I started volunteering in my local community, giving back. And then, I really became invested in that. And, it's just grown from there. So I can't really pinpoint it to a certain moment in time. I don't think, I wish there was just one day that I woke up and all of a sudden I was good and kept out of trouble. But it didn't really happen like that for me. It was a slow process.
Fair enough. And tell me, because these charities, when were they founded and who's behind them? I read that your former best mates, Jay Morgan and Stuart Adams, are listed as director and secretary. Who's involved in the charities?
Look, originally they were. So obviously when I first started the charities, I was looking for friends to join me, to support me. I'd since had a falling out with those friends.
Yes,
actually, one's in prison now. One's in prison currently. I think he's been in prison for about the last 12 months now. So, I've had that falling out, so they're no longer associated. But, I started them in 2020. So this is, again, it's one of those series of steps that I've taken. This is something that I've cared about for a long time, for, say, 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
Which some might say is not a long time to have changed. I still have my critics, but, I'm doing good things and I've just got to take it each day at a time.
And now that you've had this falling out with Jay and Stuart, are they off the registration for the charity when it comes to the ACNC?
Yeah, look, I actually submitted paperwork last week. Every year charities have to submit their financial paperwork. So I had to do that and obviously they haven't been a part of the charities for close to 12 months now. So they've been removed, but, I've recently updated all of the, stuff with the charities there. So that's something that I'm across actually at the moment.